heartbeat of the earth, the hands that give life its worth. With every step, they break new ground, harvesting hope from all around. Through every season, through highs and lows, the untold journey, the heroes grow. Harvest heroes, rising strong, building tomorrow all day long.
Guys, hello guys, welcome to the 18th episode of Harvest Heroes. Guys, we are growing so fast. I can't believe it is already the 18th episode, guys. Thank you to our faithful listeners, those that still stay faithful and listen to us every Wednesday and every Friday. This is Harvest Hero Podcast, when we have the opportunity and the privilege to listen to the untold stories of our amazing farmers and amazing leaders in the agribusiness and around the world, guys. Thank you. If you just join us, please make sure you write your name, where you're listening us from, in the comments. And always guys, doing the session, you can always comment. We are live every Wednesday and Friday. And if you want to be a guest in this wonderful session, make sure you contact us, and we will be able to get in contact with you and invite you as a guest. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. I see a lot of people online. Thank you for that. And now we have a special guest, and we'll invite our guest on board. So we welcome our guest. He's from Sierra Leone, and it's a very, very special guest. He's doing an amazing job in Sierra Leone, and I want you to listen to his amazing story. Welcome on stage, Mr. Abdul. It's a pleasure for us to have you. Can you start by telling us what is your name and what are you do? What in which field are you? Thank you, Mr. Abdul. On to you.
Thank you, Susie, for inviting me as a special guest for this program today. My name is Abdul Koroma. I'm from Sierra Leone, a very small country from the west coast of Africa. Sierra Leone is divided into regions. I'm based in the eastern region of Sierra Leone. I'm a farmer. I'm a health worker. I'm also a career producer.
Wow.
What I mean about that, I'm also an electrician.
Wow. He's a man of many trades, guys. Our next question we have for you, Mr. Abdul, is can you share a little bit about your background and how you got started in the field?
Of course, yes. Susie, I came from two chiefdoms in the district, the Kenema district. The Kenema district is divided into 16 chiefdoms. I came from two chiefdoms. My mother came from the Gorama Mende chiefdom and my father from the Tonkia chiefdom, Golan Tonkia chiefdom. Susie, these two children, if you have a chance to pay visit to those two children, you will find out that our people suffer a lot from accessing the basic amenity. With this, as a graduate, I sit down quietly from all walk of life experience gathered from the NGOs and other working places, environmentally interacted places. I was discussing with a friend where this whole issue started by the name of Nelson A.M. Karim. He's my friend. We were discussing about how best, apart from being in the working class, receiving salary, how best can you apply yourself and be self-reliant? He said, oh, UNESCO. He said, I'm an agriculturist. I have started doing something that is so great. I said, what is that, Nelson? He said, I have started goat farming. I said, wow, goat farming? He said, yes. I said, how? He said, as a goat farmer, you know, in agriculture, we invest and wait. You don't invest this morning and harvest in the evening. You see, you will be having profit, but it comes bit by bit. It will not come together as you want, but you will not lack. I say that's fine. So from that discussion, I return home quietly and relaxed. In the night, I say, yeah, this is a very good one. I said, I'm going to apply this. If this thing is good for me, it will be also good for the other youth. So I started thinking in that broad perspective, uh, thinking about forming an NGO that will be good for the youth of our location. That will be fine. So this wake up that very night, started putting things together. I said, oh, this is fine. This is a very good one. So in a nutshell, I moved. And the next morning, I moved to one of the children. I started discussing this thing with stakeholders, how best we will be having a very unique location in the children where youth can gather, where youth can think positively in terms of productivities. I said, as a stakeholders in these children, will you please provide the youth uh, a piece of land where they can gather and think about positive productivities. So in some children, they decided to acknowledge, they welcome me with the idea, but it was not easy, Susie. It was not easy. You know, Sierra Leone is a post-war country. The moment you move to this locality, thinking about these things, they think you have enough to take care of everything. Because of NGO intervention in the country after the war, many people are thinking that Mr. Koroma is having enough because he's trying to form an NGO to take care of the youth. I said, no, I don't have. I'm trying to bring the youth together for us to start something. If we start, people will come and join us to promote us. But let us start doing something about this latest development I'm thinking about.
Wow.
They will accept it at the moment, but the moment I move, everything collapsed in that particular locality because I don't have money to give it to them. So I moved to 2, 3 children, the same thing. I come home back and relax. I say, wow, this thing is too broad. I don't have money. I have started this thing. I even registered the NGO in the district where I want to start the entire program. I link with Ministry of Agriculture. I link with the Youth Council, District Council, but I don't have money to go further and do my registration as nationwide in terms of local NGO formation. The money was not available. I sit down quietly again. I think, I say, oh, let me narrow this thing. Let me just narrow it within my range. So I started thinking about forming a company instead of an NGO. So I formed this company by the name of AgriCodeExpo Agro-Business and Protein Resource Center. AgriCodeExpo Agro-Business and Protein Resource Center. What is the motive behind forming this company? It's because the agriculture we are fighting for, the agriculture we are trying to practice in Sierra Leone, we have it. We already have the agriculture now. What is lack is the agro-business center. Agricultural business center we don't have. Susie, every part of Sierra Leone you visit, you have agriculture there. Every part I have visited, there is an agriculture there, but we don't have agro business center. What this mean? In our local setting, they are all involved in agriculture, but after production, they don't have market where they can take their produce there. They don't also have a system of converting this raw material into finished products. And agriculture is divided into zones. So I said, this is the area we are going to tackle. We'll be helping the youth in terms of production, but this production, we are going to convert it again into finished product. By doing this, a lot of youth will be engaged. A lot of things will be combat, like malnutrition in our local setting, negative thinking in terms of political abuse. Because when these politicians come, what happen? It's because our youth are not engaged. They misuse them and abandon them. They use Susie, I'm targeting two categories of youth: the out of school youth, and also the rural community youth. These two categories of youth are so vulnerable. They are so much vulnerable in the way that anybody can use them the way you want and the way you like. It's because they don't know where they are going. So when the politicians come, they use them, misbehave during political violence, in terms of drug abuse, drug misuse, a lot of negative things they are associated to. So that is why the AgriCodeExpo agro business is on these two categories of youth: the out of school youth and also rural community youth. Okay. When the AgriCodeExpo was finally established and has its legal status in terms of registration, I quietly moved to my fatherland, where my father came from. I asked my people, I asked my father and his family, will you please provide me a piece of land? Yes, sir. We have land, but what do you want to do with this land? I explain myself, Susie. I want you are already involved in agriculture, but I just want to establish a business center for the agriculture we are doing. When you harvest, you need to take your produce to a center where this produce can be paid for, where this produce can be processed further and convert into finished product, where this produce can be packaged and take it to the market. They say, oh, it is fine. It is a very good idea. This idea you are talking about is good. So I was provided a piece of land, which is about 15 acres of land. Yeah, 15 acres. So I divided this land into apartments. I have the small ruminant apartment. I have the local fowl. I have my Gary processing center. I have the rice processing center. Talk about small ruminant. These are goat and sheep. I also rear local fowl. Susie, it will be fine if this interview will have been conducted in my farm. But however, this is the kind of thing I'm doing right now. Even this year, I engaged myself into rice production. My farm is really doing well. So I said, this idea, if this idea is good for me, it is fine for me. It's also good and fine for the other youth. Yeah, youth that are not that have not realized what is good for them. We look out for opportunity and engage them, discuss with them that this is what is good for us as a youth. Because if you have education, you have 3 or 4 assignments. One is to take care of yourself, your family, your communities, your children, whether district, and your country. If I have the education, now I'm thinking this way, I don't have money. What I'm going to do is to take this idea back to my people. Everybody can help. I need land. If you give me land, you have contributed to my success. I need an office. If you provide me 2 bags of cement, 3 bags of cement for bricks construction, you have added value to this project. It doesn't mean that it's only physical cash that can solve problems. No. So I've been trying my own very way to make sure that the program doesn't die down, because there are certain people, if I discuss my project with them, they say, oh, Mr. Koroma, this project is too much for you. You don't have money. How can you challenge this kind of development? I say, oh, I don't have. But with God, it is possible. With God, you can't say this is impossible. With God, it is possible. Because if you think about the cost for agricultural equipment, they are so expensive in the way that if you don't have money, you can't challenge them to afford. So people, we are thinking about this. And now, in that piece of land, Susie, I have constructed a public toilet. I have constructed a very big store. I have constructed an office, just to make sure that the foundation is strong to take this company to where I want to.
Thank you
This
so
is
much.
a company that it is a marketing company, but it has its own strategy. The strategy we are going to use is to produce our own produce that we want to make use of in terms of converting them into finished product. If I cultivate cassava, I know that cassava consumption is high, but it will not be compared to Gary if we convert this cassava into Gary, which is a finished product from cassava. But in doing this, you need to have a production center for this Gary. If I cultivate rice consumption is high in Sierra Leone. It is consumed throughout the year. So in doing this, I alone cannot do the rice farming. What I'm going to do is to engage the youth into group, into cluster group. A support will be provided, given to them, cultivating their own piece of land in terms of production. Each group will be supported for them to provide the quantity we want to start with or we want to be cultivating. After this cultivation, what is going to happen? We are going to again gather this rice into a process at the processing center. At this processing center, we mill the rice, package it into variety of sizes, into several sizes that will be affordable by the commoners in the market. And these are all organic products. They are chemically free. In doing this, I need a labor force. I need a labor force. I need support. I need a lot of things to make this thing happen. Now we have the agriculture, but what we lack again is mechanized farming. Our people have been practicing agriculture, but they use crude tools. Yeah, these tools cannot cultivate the quantity we want because you apply all your energy, your labor will not be harvest what really needed by the community. But if we introduce mechanized farming, commercial farming, in terms of all the agricultural needs, our problem will be solved. The youth will not be misused. Human trafficking will be also combated. This will stop because according to WHO, let me give you this definition. WHO said, when you said your health is okay, doesn't mean that when you are not in the hospital, lying down in the sick bed, that you are healthy. You should be mentally, physically, socially, emotionally healthy. If your physical health is correct, your mental health is not correct, your emotional health is not correct, you are still not healthy. It's because of this trauma. Everybody can come into the minds of the youth and take them away. So that is why we really want to combat human trafficking by engaging the youth.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abdul. We have a last question before we end the
This
session.
project,
And the
this
last question,
project,
we just have a
this
last question
project
before we
is
end the
broad.
session, Mr. Abdul.
But let me just stop there as the idea is moving.
Yes, thank you so much. Our last question is, what advice can you give to a youth that is listening to you now that wants to enter into agriculture and wants to start a domain in that field? Thank you.
The advice uh, is not much. Very simple and brief. If you go into agriculture as a youth, practice agriculture on your own. What you harvest is what you stand on and solve your problems. So, one thing about agriculture is a problem solving, uh, self problem solving career. Self problem solving career. When you are engaged in agriculture, what you cultivate and harvest is what you stand on and solve the rest of the problem.
Thank you.
Giving them this advice and put it into practice, follow it, maybe many of them will see and apply it.
Thank you so
Thank
much. Thank you so much, Mr. Abdul, for that wonderful presentation you did. It was just so amazing. Guys, our special guest, Mr. Abdul was our special guest today. Unfortunately, we have to end this episode, guys, but you know we love you asking your questions. If you have any question for Mr. Abdul, make sure you put it in the comment section, guys. Please make sure you mention it in the comment section. And if you want to get in contact with Mr. Abdul and the amazing work he's doing in Sierra Leone, guys, we are actually right now launching a program. We are doing AgriCodeExpo and Mr. Abdul. We are working on a program right now, and we'll give you more details, guys. We'll give you more details. We'll not spill everything right now. but we'll give you more details about this wonderful project. And if you want to be part of it, make sure you get in contact with Mr. Abdul. His information will be in the chat, or his details will be in the description of this video. So if you want to get in contact with him and do more things in Sierra Leone, guys, make sure you get in contact with him, and make sure you like, make sure you share this video to everyone, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this for joining us, Mr. Abdul. It was a pleasure to have you on board. Guys, this is the 18th, sorry. We have so many episodes, guys. This is the 18th episode of Harvest Hero Podcast. We have amazing guests every day. This is just the first guest. We have other amazing guests that are joining us every day. Guys, I don't even know what I'm saying. This is this is the 18th episode, and it was amazing. Thank you, Mr. Abdul, for your input. And guys, please, if you want to join AgriCodeExpo and amazing work we are doing around the world, Mr. Abdul is actually a regional coordinator of AgriCodeExpo in Sierra Leone. So if you want to join the amazing work we are doing around the world in Sierra Leone or any other part of the world, make sure you contact us, and we'll leave our details in the chat. You can follow us on TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, and many other social media page. Thank you guys so much for this session, and it was amazing to have you all. Please make sure you write your name and where you're listening us from. Thank you. Have a nice day, guys. Bye. Thank you so much. Bye.
They are the heartbeat